Today I'm going to show you guys how to use a multi-tooth thread mill to mill your threads in one pass using the Z and C axis of your lathe. Now, there's a few parts to this video. If you just want to skip ahead to the part where I go over how to use the macro, it's down in the description below. You can copy it, paste it in your program, and go from there. But if you don't really know what we're going to do in this video, then just stay right here because I'm going to go over every single step as far as what we have to do to achieve a thread with a thread mill using the Z axis. Oh, there's always a glare. Okay. So what do we have to do to achieve a thread in these circumstances? Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our multi-tooth thread mill and we're going to wrap it to a safe spot in front of the material. Then the next thing we're going to do, step 2, is we're going to feed in Z. Now the next step, step 3, we need to rotate the C axis while bringing X up and Z forward. It's similar to the first video I did on this channel. You have to helix into your thread. If you just feed straight over, like if you were just to feed straight up an X and then start twisting, you would get a line across the threads because you didn't feed into the proper helix angle of the threads. So it's important that we move up, forward, and twist at the same time here in step 3. Now the next step, step 4, we're going to do one rotation of our C axis while moving our Z axis forward one pitch. It's important to note here that not every thread mill can make every thread. The thread mill you use has to be of the correct pitch of the thread you're trying to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could try to mess around with that, but it won't work. Now, the next part, step 5, is actually 2 parts, but I ran out of room. We are also going to feed down an X and Z as we rotate out of the thread, and then step 6 would technically be however you want to go home. Now, the parts of the code from the description down below, above and below this, you're gonna have to tweak a little bit. This is a CNC mill turn. You might be using a live tooling lathe or, a different machine entirely, but the macro code itself will still work and do all these steps no matter what. Now, one important thing to note here, and this is actually very important, every machine tool builder looks at which way their C axis should rotate a little bit differently. So on steps 3, 4, and 5, you're gonna see H values. These H values are incremental for the C axis. Depending on the machine you're using, you might have to change positives to negatives or negatives to positives. There's nothing I can really do about that. Again, all these machines out there are different. It's kind of crazy actually, but it is what it is. So if you're getting a left-handed thread when you wanted a right-handed thread, you need to change the H values that we're gonna go over in the later part of the video, which will be after this next part. So if you copied the program from the description below, you might notice there is a main spindle and a sub spindle version. That's because on most lathes, those are gonna be opposite directions in Z. So on the main spindle, we'll feed in negatively, and on the sub spindle, we will feed in positively. Just kind of is what it is. I wrote 2 macros for you because I care that much. But inside this macro, you are going to notice we have pound 700 through pound 708. You fill out these variables, you'll make any thread your little heart desires. You just got to do it right. So we're going to start off with the diameter of our end mill. That is pound 700. I had a 10 millimeter end mill, so in this case it was 0.3937. After that, we're going to have the minor diameter of your thread. You'll get why in a second, but that is for clearance. It is important that you put this in properly. The next one, pound 702, this is going to be the diameter you're going to cut to. This is the major diameter of your thread. Now the next one, pound 703, that is going to be your thread pitch. I was using a 1.5 millimeter pitch thread mill, which in English or standard, I guess it is, would come out to be 0.059. That is the thread pitch. That's how much is going to move in Z during that revolution where it cuts the part. Now this next one, pound 704, that is your clearance for entry. You will notice in the footage, I will wrap it down in front of the part and then wrap it down in Z. It's okay, you could come in. The manager and his wife come into Dynamic on the weekends and clean. It's actually very, very humble and very, very nice of them. So the next one is going to be pound 704. This is going to be your clearance for entry. When you watch this toolpath run, you'll notice I wrap it down in front of the part, wrap it down to depth, and then start cutting. Well, during that point in the process, it would be pretty stupid if we hit any metal. So we need to clear that metal by a given amount. That's exactly what pound 704 is. This will clear your miner diameter by 50 thousandths, or you could be 100 thousandths or 200 thousandths or 1 millimeter, 3 millimeter. Doesn't matter, whatever you put in there, it's going to clear. Now, pound 705 is going to be your thread depth. The way I wrote this macro, it actually goes a little bit past that for the helix up. So this is really going to be the point in where it starts cutting. So that's exactly how deep my thread's going to be. In the footage, I went to 650 thousandths. Now, your next pound variable is pound 706. This is your feed rate for entry. I lied a little bit earlier. We are not rapiding down the hole. Really don't like doing that in programs because if you screw up, there's not a lot of time to see what's going on. So this is how quick it's going to go down to depth. Here I used 100 inches a minute. Quite magical. The next one is going to be pound 707. This is going to be your feed rate while cutting. Here I went 15 inches a minute. After it gets down to depth, it's going to start using this pound variable for how fast it's going to cut. And then the last one, but very much not least, this will be a Z clearance move. Now, if you're working on the main spindle on a traditional lathe, you're going to want this number to be positive because, yeah, you want to be on the positive side. You don't want to run into your part. And on your sub spindle, you're going to want this to be a negative because on the sub spindle side, we clear from the negative side. Those right there, all the variables you need to know about. If you take all of this and put it in your program, type in this information, adjust some of the codes accordingly, because every machine's different, just how it is, then you can get yourself a magical thread. It'll be the most magical thread you've ever created. All right, that's how the ThreadMill actually works. Now, I have to go over the part where I really wish I had a teleprompter for this channel because I have to go read the macro off the control because I wrote it 2 weeks ago. So, line by line, what is the thought process behind this macro? Well, it's very simple. So in this video, we're actually going to kind of really lay it out for you. So the first thing we need to do is wrap it up to a point that's safe for the ThreadMill to feed in. So this is going to be our approach point. So that's going to be X of pound 701, the miner diameter of your thread, minus pound 700, your ThreadMill, minus pound 704, that's going to be your clearance moves. So that's going to make it when our ThreadMill rapids in, it's going to be safe to clear the miner diameter of our threads. Now at this point, I will go to Y of 0. It's pretty important that your tool's on center here. And then you'll notice I go to Z of pound 708. As we just went over, that is your clearance move in Z. Now also, it's important to put your C axis in some sort of reference position here. So I put C of 0 where I wanted the thread to start. You could change this, of course. If you want to start at a different C position, go ahead, put C 35 point, not really doesn't matter. You're still going to get a thread. So this next line is going to be where we infeed to before we start cutting. Now it's important to note here, I wanted to make it where it starts cutting is actually the depth you programmed. And when we infeed to this point, we are going to rotate 90 degrees, which will be a quarter of a revolution, which will be a quarter of the feed rate programmed. So you'll notice I go to Z of pound 705 minus pound 703 divided by 4. That's going to be our depth plus 1/4 of a pitch because we're going to go 1/4 of a revolution when we infeed into the part. Now the next part's pretty easy. It's F of pound 706. This is just the quick feed rate that you established earlier. That's just going to whoop, go right down to the point we just programmed. Now the next part is going to be the cutting. So you'll see we go to X of pound 702 minus pound 700. That is your major diameter minus the diameter of your ThreadMill. This is going to be the point in which you're cutting. So also on that same line, you're going to see I go W of pound 703 divided by 4. So again, we went a quarter of our pitch past our final depth. We are going to have to go a quarter of a pitch back to make sure it lands in the exact spot we desired in our program. Now, as this is going up in X and moving back in Z, I also need to rotate C. So you'll see H of 90 degrees. I know I mentioned this earlier, but you might need to make these H's negative depending on how your machine works. It's weird, they're all different. Sorry, don't blame me. So this next line is going to convert your degrees per minute into inches per minute. If you program any rotary moves like a C value on any line, the machine is going to switch from inches per minute or millimeters per minute to degrees per minute. So in order to calculate our degrees per minute, based off our inches per minute, we are going to have to take the inches per minute we programmed, divide the diameter we're at, and then multiply by 114.5916. And that will convert your degrees per minute into inches per minute. Now this next line is going to be the ThreadMill itself. You're gonna see W of pound 703, H of 360. W and H are both incremental moves. So it's going to move exactly one pitch because W is incremental for Z. So it's going to go W 703 while doing one full revolution in C because H is incremental for C. Again, you might have to make this negative depending on your machine. Now our next line, we are simply returning to that safe point in X. We're gonna go to X of pound 701 minus pound 700 minus pound 704, while also moving our Z axis 1/4 of a revolution because we're moving our C axis 1/4 of a revolution. At this point, we are safe. We can then wrap it to Z of pound 708 and then go home. Or copy and paste this and do a finished pass. Honestly, in a lot of cases I find on lathes like this, you almost always have to run a finished pass. These thread mills kind of deflect a bunch. Still faster than single pointing in a lot of cases. They'll also last longer. But yeah, you get really stringy burrs on the tips of your threads on the first pass. Unless you have a good thread mill, then you don't. I don't know. That's what I've seen. Is that just gonna be my face like super zoomed in the whole time? Yeah, it is. That is it for our video on thread milling today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope I hit record on my task cam. I did, that's good. Yeah, I had eggs and bacon for breakfast today. It was good. But what I really want to eat for dinner tonight is my girlfriend's leftover cooking because it was actually really good. I ate it last night. So that's what I'm gonna eat tonight for dinner. Hope you have a great day. And yeah, if you found this video useful and the macro useful, please comment down below. Let me know that I did a good job, or if it doesn't work and you hate it, tell me I did a bad job. All up to you. Have a good day.